Hello students, good morning. I hope you all are safe and healthy at your home. In previous lecture, we complete our one portion of this unit, reagents, very important reagents in chemical reactions. And second part is heterocyclic compound. So, we start here with heterocyclic compound. First of all, we define heterocyclic compound. What are heterocyclic compound? What are heterocyclic compound? The ring containing carbon. The ring containing carbon and other elements like nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur is known as heterocyclic ring. Heterocyclic ring. The non-carbon atom in such ring are known as heteroatom. And the compound containing 5 to 6 member heterocyclic ring which are some properties which are stable, containing conjugated double bond, and exhibit aromatic characteristics are known as heterocyclic compound. Compounds. The ring containing carbon atom and other elements like nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur is known as heterocyclic ring. The non-carbon atom in such ring are known as heteroatom. The compound containing 5 to 6 member heterocyclic ring which are some of the properties which are stable, containing conjugated double bond and exhibit aromatic characteristics are known as heterocyclic compound. So this is the definition of heterocyclic compound. Now we see the classification of heterocyclic compound. Classification of heterocyclic compound. First of all, we see overall classification of compound. We have two compound, organic compound and inorganic compound. And heterocyclics are present in organic compounds. So first of all we see classification of organic compounds. Classification of organic compound. Organic compounds are classified into two groups. There are two parts of organic compound. One is acyclic compound and second is cyclic compound. Acyclic compound is also known as open chain or branch chain or aliphatic compound. While cyclic compound are also known as closed chain. Closed chain compound. Closed chain compound. These acyclic compound are further classified into three groups. One is known as alkane, second one is alkene, and third one is alkyne. Alkyne. And we know the general formula of alkane, CnH2n plus 2, alkene CnH2n, and alkyne CnH2n minus 2, and N is number of carbon atom. Number of carbon atom. This closed chain or cyclic compound are further classified into two parts. Number one is carbocyclic compound. Number one is carbocyclic compound and second one is heterocyclic. And this is further classified into two parts, and these are last alicyclic compound and aromatic compound. So in this unit or second part we discuss this heterocyclic compound. heterocyclic compound. Now we see classification of heterocyclic compound. Classification of heterocyclic compound according to the number of heteroatom. Classification of heterocyclic compound. According to the number of atoms. Number of atoms present in it. Number of atoms present in it, then it is classified into two types. Classified into two types. 5-member ring heterocyclic compound. Five-member ring heterocyclic compound, and second part is 6-member ring heterocyclic compound. So, according to number of atom present in it, heterocyclic compound classified into main two parts. One is 5-member ring heterocyclic compound and second is 6-member ring heterocyclic compound. This 5-member and 6-member both are further classified in two types. Further classified in two types. For 5-member ring heterocyclic compound, 5-member ring heterocyclic compound, I write down short name of heterocyclic compound HC. Heterocyclic compound contain one heteroatom. One heteroatom. And second point, 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain two or more heteroatom. two or more heteroatom. This and here also classification. First of all, we see 5-member ring heterocyclic compound. So it is classified into further classification of 5-member ring heterocyclic into two parts. 5-member ring heterocyclic containing one heteroatom, and second one is 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain two or more heteroatoms. And this is further classified, and this is also further classified, and this is last. 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain one heteroatom are classified further into simple heterocyclic compound. Simple heterocyclic compound. And second one is fused heterocyclic compound. 5-member ring contain two or more heteroatom are also subclassified into simple heterocyclic compound and fused heterocyclic compound. First of all, we see different types of example of this heterocyclic compound. Simple 5-member ring containing one heteroatom as simple heterocyclic compound, we give name A. Fuse B, two or more heteroatom simple compound is C and fuse is D. Now we see the example of these compounds. I write down some structure for this classification. First of all, we see A. That means 5-member ring heterocyclic compound, one heteroatom, and these compounds are simple heterocyclic compound. As for example, we see five-member ring, one heteroatom, only one heteroatom. Nitrogen is only here, or so its name is pyrrole. Its name is pyrrole. We see second structure. Here only one heteroatom, oxygen, so it is known as furan. And also we have sulfur, so if the structure contains only one heteroatom S, it is known as thiophene. 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 So you write down these three components in A group. 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain one heteroatom as simple heterocyclic compound are pyrrole, furan, thiophene, etc. Now we see example of B group. Our B group. In this classification, B group are 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain one heteroatom as fused heterocyclic compound. As for example, fused system, benzene ring with it is known as benzopyrrole. Or its non-name is indole. Benzopyrrole or indole. This is fuse 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contain one heteroatom, and fuse heterocyclic compound is benzopyrrole. And if this compound contains, instead of this nitrogen, sulfur is present here, then it is known as benzothiophene. And if this structure has heteroatom oxygen, then it is known as benzofuran. So, benzopyrrole or indole, benzothiophene, benzofuran are example of fuse 5-member heterocyclic ring contains one heteroatom. So here we have complete our first two portion A and B. Now we see third portion C. Example of simple 5-member ring heterocyclic contain two or more heteroatoms. As for example, this is known as pyrazole. Here we see two nitrogen atom are heteroatom. So it is simple, number C, simple 5-member ring heterocyclic compound containing two heteroatom. If the position of this nitrogen is transferred into this position, then our compound is known as imidazole. Now we see more example for heteroatom sulfur. And for oxygen. So these are also two heteroatom containing. So simple. These are sulfur is known as thiazole. and it is known as oxazole. These all are simple 5-member ring heterocyclic compound containing two heteroatoms. Here both nitrogen. Here nitrogen and sulfur. Nitrogen and oxygen. In this class we see more examples. Here two or more heteroatoms. So we see more heteroatoms. More example for more heteroatoms. Number of atoms we increase. We see here two heteroatom. Now we see three heteroatom ring. Here three nitrogen are heteroatom. It is known as triazole. Triazole. And we see tetrazole. Tetrazole. So here 1, 2, 3 and 4 nitrogen as heteroatom. Here 3, 1, 2 and 3. So triazole, tetrazole and previous compound pyrazole, imidazole, thiazole, oxazole, these all are simple 5-member ring heterocyclic compound contains two or more heteroatoms. Two or more heteroatoms. Now we see our 5-member ring heterocyclic compound D, that are fuse system. Fuse 5-member ring heterocyclic containing two or more heteroatoms. Two or more heteroatoms. We noted it as D. First compound, fuse with benzene ring, and this is benzopyrazole. 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 We see one more example. Only nitrogen is transferred. It is known as benzoimidazole. Benzoimidazole. Benzopyrazole. And if we change here 1 and 2 both are nitrogen. If we change heteroatom instead of nitrogen, if sulfur is present, then it is known as benzthiophene. Benzthiophene. And if oxygen is present in this heteroatom, sulfur is not present and oxygen is present, it is known as benzoxazole. Benzoxazole. So these are benzopyrrole, benzoimidazole, benzothiazole, benzooxazole, etc. are fused 5-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms. So here we complete our one portion, 5-member ring heterocyclic compound. 5-member ring heterocyclic compound. Now we see 6-member ring heterocyclic compound. So I rub out this 5-member ring heterocyclic compound classification. You all are now see classification of 6-member ring heterocyclic compound. 6-member ring heterocyclic compound. These are further classified into 2 parts as we described in 5-member ring. 6-member ring. 6-member ring containing one heteroatom. And second part is 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatom. It is further classified into 2 parts, and it is also further classified into 2 parts. Number 1 is simple heterocyclic compound, fused heterocyclic compound. 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatom is also subclassified into simple heterocyclic compound and fused heterocyclic compound. Now, simple 6-member ring containing one heteroatom is known as E. Fuse is F, G and H, and we see one by one example of this simple and fused 6-member ring containing one heteroatom and simple and fused 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatom. Let us see one by one. First of all, we see simple six-member ring containing one heteroatom. One heteroatom. Six-member ring. So we have six-member ring this, and one heteroatom is oxygen. It is known as pyridine. Pyridine. This is six-member ring with one heteroatom. Pyridine. If this is conjugated, it is known as alpha pyron, and this is gamma pyron. Also we here write down as 2 pyron. This is 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 pyron. So these are the first compound. Simple six-member ring containing one heteroatom. Now we see one heteroatom with fuse system. One heteroatom with fuse system. That is F. Fuse system. It is known as quinoline. Quinoline. And if nitrogen is transferred to second position, transfer into second position, it is known as isoquinoline. Quinoline and isoquinoline are fused six-member ring containing one heteroatom. In simple, we also write down pyridine. In simple, I describe only one pyridine, but nitrogen is present, then it is known as pyridine. If nitrogen is present, then it is known as pyridine. It is in class E. Simple six-member ring containing one heteroatom. Now we see G, group G, that is simple six-member ring containing two or more heteroatoms. Two or more heteroatoms. That is G. One nitrogen and second nitrogen. It is known as pyridine. Pyridine. This is known as pyridine. If nitrogen is transferred into third position, second and third, I write down here structure. This is known as pyrimidine. Pyrimidine. And if this nitrogen is now transferred into this position, it is known as pyrazine. So 6-member ring and 1 2 1 2 1 2, that is 6-member ring, 2 or more heteroatoms, simple compounds. These are pyridine, pyrimidine and pyrazine are simple 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms. Now we see 3 and more heterocyclic compound, 3 and more heteroatoms in this class G, that is triazine, 135 triazine. It is 135 triazine. I describe name in parallel, so we write down 3 structure here. And if 4 molecules of nitrogen is present, it is known as tetrazine. Triazine and tetrazine. So pyridine, pyrimidine, pyrazine, triazine and tetrazine are simple 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms. Now we see last group H, fuse, 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms. 2 or more heteroatoms. Group H. These are fused 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms. 2 or more heteroatoms. As for example, the compound 6-member ring containing 2 or more heteroatoms, both are nitrogen. It is known as phenolene. It is known as phenolene. I write down second structure. If nitrogen is transferred into third position, then it is known as quinazolene. This nitrogen is transferred here, and if this transfer here, then it is known as quinoxaline. It is known as quinoxaline. I write down here. It is known as quinoxaline. Quinoxazoline. Quinoxazoline. So these are the compound which contains six-member ring and two or more heteroatoms with fuse system. We have also two more examples for this. So I write about free structure and last two examples of this class H. Fuse six-member ring containing two or more heteroatoms. If oxygen present as a heteroatom, then it is known as benzopyrene. Also known as coumarin. Coumarin derivatives are optical brighteners, optical brightening agents, and all are used in dyes. So this is coumarin, and position of this oxygen atom in fourth position, it is known as chromon. It is known as chromon. It is known as chromon or benzogamma-pyrrole. So these are the six-member ring fuse system: phenolene, quinazoline, quinoxazoline, coumarin, and chromon are fused six-member ring containing two or more heteroatoms. So this is the classification of heterocyclic compound, and it is very important topic for your exam preparation. Okay, thank you.